You're listening to the Fun Never Ends podcast with Metalhead Nelson.
Hey, welcome to the Fun Never Ends podcast. I'm your Metalhead Nelson, and with me is Brutal Brett. Brutal Brett, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Happy New Year, or in the words of Larry David, after the 7th, should you really be saying that?
Or as MJF from AEW would say, it's the bidding war of 2024. Happy New
That as
Year,
well. Happy New Year.
everyone. So, today's episode, we wanted to talk about the new movie Iron Claw. The Iron Claw is a movie that features the wrestling family, the Von Erichs, and it stars Zac Efron, as most of you may know him from his High School Musical days, along with Jeremy Allen White. I saw this movie. It came out like what few days, the 22nd of December. I think I
Believe so.
saw it like New Year's, the day before New Year's Eve. I really wanted to see this, and I was blown away. I was really like, wow. Because the soundtrack to that movie, the story, how it was told, and all the actors that was in the movie is like, wow. It was great. Also, great movie, great soundtrack, sad story, but true, and it was amazing. How did you like it, Britt?
When you hear about a family curse in a movie, you're usually like, this is not true. No, that family genuinely cursed when only one of 5 of the children are alive.
Yeah, Kevin Von Erich is still alive. He showed up at the premiere. Zac Efron portrayed him in the movie. And if you look at a photo of the Von Erichs, their past photo, and you compare it with the photo from the movie, the dad is slightly alike, but I think the movie actor would have to bulk up.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, Kevin's still alive. His sons are wrestling in Ring of Honor. His 2 boys are wrestling in Ring of Honor.
Hopefully the family curse doesn't continue. We can
I don't think
knock on wood for that.
it was a great film. I recognized the mom. I'm like, where the hell have I seen her? Come to find out, if you watch the movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, the mom in Iron Claw is Jim Carrey's ex-wife in that movie.
Well, she plays I would say she's a better character because the dad was somewhat of the villain in this case. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he was. And, it's like, if you haven't seen the movie, this is gonna like either entice you to see it or it's gonna ruin it for you and you're still gonna want to see it or not. But um the dad is pretty much like pushing and pushing. There's so much pressure on the kids to like go and pursue this dream where he never got the dad wrestled before and
Mhm.
he got so close to winning the the World Heavyweight Championship, but every time he would, the promoters would screw him out. The things that happen, if you got to see them wrestle in real life, the Von Erichs, that's how it went. And, it went to like, you never got that World Championship. It's like the story would change and from promotion and this and that. And it was just tough. And these guys in the movie, well, the real life wrestlers, they would, in a way, take their own lives because they couldn't handle it. And it's sad, but it's true. Like, there's so much pressure in, like, oh, you wanted your sons to succeed in this business that it's just like, they're like, it's too much. Kevin was like the one that just he kept going and going, but it's sad how the rest of it turned out.
And even one of the brothers was going to be an Olympian athlete at first, but
Kerry.
given everything that happened in Munich during the Olympics that year, uh, it became a different story, and who knows what would have happened had he gone through that path to the end instead.
Yeah. That's when the whole thing with the Soviet Union, they didn't want him to go to Russia. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it was a great film. The Chavo Guerrero is the wrestling coordinator, and he also plays the Iron Sheik in that movie. That was one that Zac Efron wrestled. And if you go to Chris Van Vliet and you look up Chavo, Chavo does talk about the whole thing that about talking about that film and training the actors in that movie to get ready for, especially Zac Efron. So none of the guys from all the interviews that I've seen, nobody got into wrestling, but they have a newfound respect for it.
That sounds about well. I would see Jeremy Allen White as someone who can maybe continue it, but just by writing it into his character in The Bear. Which have you seen The Bear as well? Have you
I
seen
have
Jeremy
not.
act before?
I've This would be the first time that I've seen in Jeremy Allen White act,
And you
and he
didn't
did a
see
job.
Shameless as well, because he was also in the show Shameless.
No, I haven't.
I recommend both of them. Both are very different series. Shameless deals with his father being an alcoholic, while The Bear is more about restaurant life. Two great series, regardless. They're both on streaming. One is Hulu, the other is HBO.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to look into that and check that out. I'll have to. Can you give me like a little bit of what I can be in for the Bear?
Uh, think about it's based in Chicago. It's about a restaurant, the restaurant life, pretty much of working at the back end in a kitchen and being a cook, and just the going from being, rather small scale to more high end,
Yeah.
and just the pressures of the demand in the kitchen, and very cooking oriented. So
Okay.
very food centric, but there's a lot of drama even within that still. And it's just the show won a ton of Oscars this past weekend as well for being some of the best series as well.
No, I haven't really watched a whole lot of new series. I mean, and
It
sometimes
takes a lot, yeah.
I don't know, something about these series these days, it's kind of hard to actually get into. I spend so much time staring at a computer screen at work, and I'm like, I don't want to look at this anymore. Or some stuff doesn't like interest me, and it takes me a while. Like I have to go back to like the older shows, you know?
Yeah, I think is the same thing that's happening to me that's happening to you, where you're so used to short form content now that you just need things sped up or to get to the point, because you're like, I need some quick engagement to get me to where I need to be and then just
Exactly.
finish.
It's like watching stuff like Seinfeld or Psych, shows like that are like, ooh, they have that. For me, I'm very into comedy.
Mhm.
Action, you got to have comedy with it to make it work. But yeah, like more comedic series. I don't care if it's repetitive. I'll go back and watch How I Met Your Mother and Superstore and shows like that, 70s Show, and just all the classics.
Well, I would say in regards to the series I watched recently, it takes a lot. I have to mainly hear buzz from all ends of the internet, and it needs to be like a cultural signifier, if that makes sense. Where it's just
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
people from all over being like, no, like people are talking about this because it's that good or something. The last one I would say would be Succession, which also won a bunch of Oscars over the weekend.
Oscars. I mean,
That's the
Golden Globes.
whatever it is, I don't know.
It was the Golden Globe. Well, some award thing. To put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, a trophy made out of metal that actors, actresses, and musicians can win.
Exactly.
One of the award shows for something.
Award shows for something. That's a,
Uh,
that's a good way to put it.
I know that the collectively they become the Ultron of the EGOT or whatever it is,
Ultron.
which is what Emmy, Grammy,
Emmy.
Oscar, and what's T?
Primetime.
Well, they're Alexa, what is the T in
No,
EGOT?
that's Emmy. I don't even know, dude.
I don't know, maybe television, because it's Emmy, Grammy, Oscar. I don't know what the T is, and it's gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
But once you get them, it's the Infinity Gauntlet, and you're able to just crush everyone. Apparently, there's only like 7 people in the whole world who've gotten all those awards.
Oh wow. Oh, speaking of award, going back to Iron Claw, they're a film by uh, a company called A34
A24.
or A24. I'm sorry,
Mm.
I knew it was somewhere in there. So they surpassed the milestone, which is a rare milestone for an R-rated film in 2023. They hit $20 million for an R-rated film, and this is the third A24 movie that did that in 2023.
I'm trying to think what the others were. Was it Everyone Everywhere All at Once? Was that 2023?
Or in general, I guess. I'm not sure
I'm
what
trying
what else A24 had out that was rated R
to,
that made a
pro-
killing at the box.
I think Everyone Everywhere All at Once. Oh, Beau is Afraid.
Mm-hmm.
That was another big one that was A24 this year. I love A24, so they have been they started off making mainly horror movies and now have ventured more into other categories.
I'm surprised that MJF was part character in that movie as well for like a second, and he's executive producer.
Really?
He's if you watch all the way into the credits, he's executive producer. He's one of many executive producers, put it that way.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta break character to tell a heartwarming story.
So, yeah, that the creator Sean, he went all out with that story, and he did a great job telling it.
But one of the brothers was left out. Do you think
Oh
that
yeah,
this was a good choice?
um, which is bizarre, but I think with every film, or even like when it comes to film and books, there's gonna be stuff left out.
Do you want to know the reason why he was left out?
Why was he left out?
They didn't want to make it even more tragic than it already was.
I think that one, if I read correctly, he also shot himself.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Again, 4 out of 5 of the siblings.
Yep.
Insane.
It is, but it made for a great film.
Yes.
I didn't think it was gonna be actually like that many people in the theater, because I bought my ticket. When I bought my ticket on Fandango, everything was still open. come like I checked like maybe an hour or two before the movie. Oh, so many seats are like crossed out or bought. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna admit how I watched it.
So
It wasn't on my phone from a sketchy website.
But majority had to be either wrestling fans, and some had to be probably Zac Efron fans that they're like is still stuck in that High School Musical days. You know.
We're soaring, flying. No,
Yeah.
you didn't watch High School Musical?
Yeah, we're not all in this together.
Oh, you got it.
So
That's gonna be a question to ask for another time. Is how you know that even?
the wife is a High School Musical nut.
It's okay. Yeah, I have many ex-girlfriends who I got dragged to see the one of them in theaters. So
Disney
it
Plus.
it, it stays in your soul like a stain.
Yeah, very sane. All right, this will conclude this episode of Fun Never Ends podcast. Check out the clicker. The website's there. Come find us everywhere where you find your podcast. Share, tell your friends and everybody, and share the website, share the pod, and go to the website, leave us a review, or leave us the review everywhere, and hey, we'll love you for it. So, check out links in the description. Check out our past episodes. Our last two episodes had interviews with Tom Michael Hall from Riot B, and you want to check out the last one that we did with Timothy Gaines, the former Striper bassist, and let us know what you think in the comments on the YouTube video. All right. For me and Brutal Brett, this has been an episode of Fun Never Ends podcast. Thanks.